Well, let's go first right away to the big breaking news that we are getting at the moment. The Tamil Nadu governor, acting Tamil Nadu governor Vidyasagar Rao has sent a report to the centre and the president. This after meeting both sides, Panneerselvam and Sasikala. He met them at 5 p.m. He met Panneerselvam, 7:30 met Sasikala. Now we are told that the report has been sent to the centre and the president for further action. Let's go straight across to Shiv Arur, our correspondent who's at Poise Garden, where Sasikala is at the moment, having met the governor. What is the sense you're getting? Is the Sasikala camp confident that the governor will give a report saying that Sasikala should be sworn in, or will she be kept waiting till at least Monday when the Supreme Court disproportionate assets case comes up against her, Shiv?
Rajdeep, the optics are one of total confidence. When Sasikala came back right now, she was smiling. She did the namaskaram in her car as she was driven straight down the road straight to Vedarilam. In fact, we were inside there just a short while ago. There's a huge scrum of supporters from the AIA-DMK who are there. Some curious onlookers, but many, at least 200 to 300 supporters are massed outside the Vedarilam gates right now, because Sasikala is about to hold a press conference where she's apparently going to be making a statement. Now, if she's holding that press conference and if the optics, of her return back to Vedarilam here suggest there appears to be confidence. She had a smile on her face, but we're not getting the sense that, a decision is going to be taken in a hurry. A report has been made. It's been dispatched to the president and the centre, but we don't know if the governor, who hasn't taken a decision so far, has everything he needs to, finally bite the bullet and take a call on, the demands being made by either Sasikala, where she's taking claim, or by Panneerselvam and the very serious allegations that he's actually made. So I suspect that there is still some suspense in store as far as the story is concerned, chiefly the touchstone being, of course, that Supreme Court verdict.
The verdict, we are told, at the very earliest, Shiv, will only come on Monday, so that's another 3 days still of suspense possibly. Sasikala, you say, is going to make a statement. We'll wait for that. But let me give our viewers a sense of what's been happening on this dramatic Thursday in Tamil Nadu. The top 5 developments that have taken place in this unfolding drama in Chennai. Now, 2 days after that political turmoil in Chennai began, the acting governor of Tamil Nadu finally arrived in the city, met both claimants to the chief minister's throne, Panneerselvam and Sasikala. OPS says he wants to withdraw his resignation, as he says he claims it was forced. Support to some extent has grown for Panneerselvam. Some MLAs, about half a dozen of them, have switched sides. Also, AIDMK's number 2 Madhusudan and Jaya's niece Deepa Kumar have extended support to them. Meanwhile, OPS has restricted the use of party funds kept in banks without his consent, saying he is still the party's treasurer. On the other hand, in a sign of the hardening of Sasikala's stance, AIDMK's official Twitter page has changed its display picture to a poster of Sasikala with Jayalalitha with the banner Chinnamma for Chief Minister. India Today has tracked down the AIDMK MLAs herded in buses by Sasikala to a luxury resort 60 kilometers from Chennai. Tight security has ensured no one can enter or eat. The opposition is calling it a murder of democracy and saying that the MLAs are being kept in captivity. Interim Chief Minister Panneerselvam has also announced his intention to convert late Jayalalitha's Poise Garden residence into a memorial. The property worth an official 45 crores is the current residence of Sasikala. Okay, now the key, of course, lies with the governor. The key lies with the MLAs. Where are these MLAs? Remember, 135 MLAs in all in the AIDMK, and sources now saying about 130 of them are in a hotel resort where they have been secretly stationed by Sasikala. Remember, a day after Panneerselvam's dramatic rebellion, Sasikala had packed off these MLAs to avoid any horse trading. We are told the MLAs are enjoying a luxurious afternoon on the beach with water sport and massages, even as politics peaks in Chennai.
Herded in buses and taken to a secret hideout. As the war for power turned bitter, Sasikala was certainly not taking any chances. With the AIA-DMK lawmakers, she claimed, were loyal to her. India Today managed to track the MLAs down. Our team traced them to the Golden Bay Resort, about 60 kilometers from Chennai.
This is the way which takes to a resort, Green Bay Resort, and where all the AIDMK MLAs, almost 130 in numbers, are kept there. All those MLAs who are believed to be supporting the General Secretary and CM designated Sasikala, they are there inside that resort.
And it turned out that MLAs were enjoying a luxurious afternoon on the beach with water sports and massages, even as politics peaked in Chennai. There was tight security to ensure nobody could get access to the MLAs, as also no MLA could leave. This was after at least one lawmaker managed to slip away from the bus, leading to questions over whether they were being holed up in the resort forcibly.
Yesterday, they were attend the party headquarters meeting. Thereafter, they have, all of them have taken by bus and taken to ECR, and it is totally detained, illegal detention by the some vested interest.
As Sasikala guarded her flock, the opposition called it murder of democracy.
See, the whole situation is very ugly and very sad. I think MLAs have to be allowed to decide on their own. I mean, this is unbelievable that they're being, if it is true that they're being held somewhere, it is really not acceptable.
If the MLAs, they should take a decision based on their political future. I'm saying like they should not take any decision which is going to benefit them now and leave them antagonistic to the public later.
Whether the MLAs were locked up in resort against their will or not is debatable. But what it does reveal is that loyalty is never taken for granted in Indian politics. With Ashish Pandey in Kanchipuram, Bureau Report, India Today.
Let me, as always, raise the big questions tonight, the questions that we want answers to tonight. The numbers of the MLAs seem to be with Sasikala, but is the public mood with OPS? What will prevail, numbers or public sentiment, when the governor takes that big decision? Will the governor advise, or should he advise Sasikala to wait for the Supreme Court verdict that we expect at the earliest only now on Monday? Can the governor deny Sasikala a shot at power simply because a Supreme Court verdict is being awaited? Will the governor allow O.P. Panneerselvam to withdraw his resignation after having accepted and notified it, and then give him a chance to order an immediate floor test? In fact, is the floor test the best way to test who has the numbers in Tamil Nadu? A big state of this country has been plunged into political uncertainty. Apsara Reddy, member of the AIDMK and its supporter, joining me. Also, Khushbu Sundar is the Congress's spokesperson, and N. Ram, former editor-in-chief of The Hindu. More guests will be joining me as we proceed. But Apsara Reddy, please tell me which side you stand on. Public sentiment seems to be more and more with Panneerselvam. The numbers may be with Sasikala, but it's not exactly ideal when your MLAs are being herded into a resort. It seems that they are being kept in captivity. Is this the way to run a democracy?
First of all, that they're being hoarded and kept in captivity is something that the media is saying. Are you sure they're being locked up? They're MLAs. If we lock them up today, it'll come out tomorrow. We
Then
will
let
save
them.
ourselves
Then
of
why
the
don't they stay in the house? Sorry, ma'am. Why don't they stay at home? Why don't they stay at home? If Sasikala is so, sorry, ma'am. Ma'am, sorry to intervene, but if Sasikala is so confident, Sasikala is so confident of their support, why does she need to send them to a hotel resort? What is she worried about?
Wherever they choose to hold their meetings is their prerogative. Certainly they're not held in captivity or locked up, as you said. Where they choose to hold their meetings and who they choose to be in touch with is their prerogative. And second of all, I think the governor has played truant by delaying this so far and putting the state in a flux. And this was a situation brought on by Mr. O. Panneerselvam. He himself mooted Chinnamma's name. He was part of every meeting. He was at Poes Garden. I saw him meet Chinnamma many times. In fact, fell on her feet and took her blessings also after her maiden speech. He basically is conspired with the DMK. He's become a DMK stooge. Wonder what the transaction is. So he's basically put the state in a flux. And the public mood that you're talking about, Rajdeep, you cannot go by mere social media trends. We have to take a comprehensive view of the state where a 7 crore plus state. And I don't think we can just go by what the social media is drumming up. There's a lot of anger and emotion. I respect that, but we need to take a comprehensive view of it.
Forget the social media. I'm just looking now at the manner in which this is being played out, Mr. N. Ram. MLAs being herded to hotels, resorts. It's happened before. It's happened in Gujarat, Karnataka. It's happened in several states. But it clearly suggests at the moment that A, either Sasikala is nervous about her MLAs, or B, that she believes that these MLAs are being targeted by the Panneerselvam camp in an unfair manner. Do you believe at the moment the governor who has to take that big decision must give the first choice to Sasikala because she has at least a list with her of 130 MLAs? Or do you believe he must find out whether these MLAs are being coerced by Sasikala to stay with her?
Absolutely. He should not give the opportunity to Sasikala because these MLAs are clearly not free agents. Everybody can recognize it. Today, the Madras High Court was told falsely that the MLAs were in the legislative hostel. Our reporters and photographers went there and found it to be an utter lie. A lawyer claiming to be a government lawyer, government advocate, falsely told the Supreme, I don't know if it amounts to perjury, we'll have to find out, but it's a complete lie to the Madras High Court when a petition came up. So I think it's clear that they are not free agents. I don't think Mr. Panneerselvam has the resources to poach on them. But it is clear to everybody, anybody who sees what's happening on the ground, you don't have to be an expert, that there's a massive swing in support of Panneerselvam. Whether he is a candidate for a future chief minister, I don't know, future chief minister. But as between these two, there's intense dislike, intense opposition to what is seen as a coup d'etat by Sasikala and the group around her. There's no question about it. And in this murky situation, the key question is, are they free agents? They do not appear to be.
Are they free agents? So you believe the key question for the governor to ask is, are they free agents? So you're saying the governor must take his time. Am I correct, Mr. Ram? You're saying the governor cannot take a decision in haste. He needs to check first whether these MLAs are being kept under duress or not. But the only way to do that, some would say, is a floor test. Is the only answer to this uncertainty and this drama, even as I play those pictures of Sasikala putting a list of MLAs together at Jayalalitha's funeral and now meeting the governor. Do you believe that the only way forward, Mr. Ram, is for a floor test?
Yes, I think that is correct, because you cannot have the MLAs parading in the Raj Bhavan. There have been many cases where the courts have held that the place to test it is the floor of the assembly.
Right.
There's no question about it. But the first question is, why are they being held? Why have they been spirited away in this fashion? What is this meeting? And you asked the question to Apsara Reddy, why can't they be at home? Why can't they be normal? This is not a normal situation. This is extremely murky.
Yes.
And nobody will believe that there's a risk of Panneerselvam having the resources to buy them or anything like that. I don't think that's the case. All the money is with the other camp.
So your interesting points that you're making there, the whole question of whether these are free agents or not. Khushbu Sundar, Congress spokesperson, also joining me. Khushbu Sundar, do you believe that Sasikala has actually got the support of these 130 MLAs, or do you believe they are being held in captivity?
Raji, first and foremost, more than a Congress spokesperson, I would like to speak as a very worried citizen of my state. And coming to your question, it's very clear for the people to see that all the MLAs, the way they were pushed into a bus and taken to an anonymous place, and now of course we all know where these MLAs are being put up in a very exotic resort where everything is going free to them. I think they have been held in captive. They have been what the caretaker's CM, O. Panneerselvam, says that definitely the support you see for Mr. Panneerselvam it's just astonishing. Everywhere people want him to take over. There was not even a single person who says that let Sasikala be the CM. So
Apsara Reddy says this is social media. Khushbu Sundar, Apsara Reddy says that this support for Panneerselvam is only on social media. It's not reality. It's a 7 crore state. Can you go by social media?
No, I think then Apsara Reddy Apsara Reddy needs to open her eyes, wake up from a deep slumber and go to Mr. Panneerselvam's house and see the kind of support he has around him. That's the real people who are there. That's the real people. It's not the social media. If social media is the only way to show the support, then I think what we saw during Jallikattu on Marina Beach was just because of a social
Madam
media where people said we need to come together.
And we saw the strength of the wrong side and part of theatrics. So please don't tell me to wake up from my deep slumber.
No, let's not get personal, but in this program, let everyone get a chance. Apsara Reddy, 1 minute. There is a question at the moment of the... No, 1 minute, ma'am.
We're very well aware.
No, ma'am.
I don't think she should make it personal.
N. Ram, a senior journalist and the senior most journalist in Tamil Nadu has said the point that these are not free agents. These MLAs have been herded into a resort, and therefore the governor has the right to question whether these MLAs of their own free volition are supporting Sasikala or not.
Rajdeep, I have a few points to make. Mr. N. Ram brought up this perjury issue of the government lawyer. The government lawyer functions under the care of the caretaker chief minister. What does that have to do with Ms. V.K. Sasikala? Number one. Number two, to hold a floor test, there has to be a chief minister who's sworn in. You can ask legal experts that. So the governor, instead of dilly-dallying and vacillating, must swear in a chief minister with the maximum number of MLAs. Then you can hold the floor test within a week or 10 days as per the norms. But you have to swear in a chief minister. And as per perjury of the lawyer, whoever represented the government, he acts under the caretaker chief minister's purview, not V.K. Sasikala, madam.
Quickly respond to that, N. Ram. Before I come back to you, Khushbu, respond to what is being said. First thing to be done is to swear in a chief minister so that the uncertainty ends, whoever that chief minister is, and give him or her a week to prove his majority or her majority. Do you believe that's what the governor should now do? I'm just getting details that the governor in his report, sir, has said there is no need for president's rule, but the situation is fluid and I'm examining it. Should he now act rather than just examine and give one of the two sides a chance to prove their majority on the floor of the House? Then we will know who is a free agent and who is not.
We are relieved that there is no prospect of president's rule. That would have been totally arbitrary and indefensible. But on the point, there is already a chief minister who's been asked to, he's given his resignation. So that cannot be taken back. But he holds it until further notice, until the next development. So I think let the governor examine the matter, and particularly the question whether what's the evidence that Sasikala has 130 or whatever, and what's the evidence that I mean, are they free agents? The governor has to make up his mind on these issues before he can act.
You're saying he cannot do any of that in a hurry. You know, Khushbu Sundar, let's come back to that point. The governor at the moment cannot go by social media or what you believe is public sentiment. He has to go by what he sees. One of the more bizarre things he's seeing is that MLAs are not being allowed to even meet him. They're being kept in a resort. Now, my question to you is, why is it that you and others are so against Sasikala being made chief minister? She has gone with the 130 MLA list to the governor. She has gone and got the support as per the rules of the AIDMK and been anointed their chief minister. Yet you don't want her to be made chief minister. What is it? Why is it that you and others are so against Sasikala?
We are not against Sasikala. I don't know her from Adams to go against Sasikala. All I would like to say is that we need a person to rule the state. We need a person who can take the state forward. We need a person. We have seen how Mr. Panneerselvam has worked. So there's a confidence level in Mr. Panneerselvam. Secondly, if Ms. Sasikala says that she has the support of these 130 MLAs, then why hijack them? Why push them and make sure that nobody meets them? They don't come out. Why is it happening? We're seeing one by one people are coming out in support of Panneerselvam. There's one MLA from Gondapalayam who says that I go out and people spit on me saying that if Sasikala is the CM, we don't want you around. That is what his statement is. That's a sentiment of the people.
Yes,
constitutionally, we need to know the government has to take a call. The government has to take a call and decide as to how things have to be done.
Apsara Reddy respond. You know that at the end of the day, MLAs are elected by the people of Tamil Nadu. No, 1 minute, ma'am. The people of Tamil Nadu did not elect Sasikala. The people of Tamil Nadu did not elect Sasikala and her family to rule them. So she has a credibility crisis. That doesn't mean she can't be CM, but she does have to face a credibility crisis, a trust deficit. She has done nothing to overcome that. Instead, what does she do? She has herded 130 MLAs to a hotel and kept them, I repeat, under captivity. Why is she not allowing them to leave the hotel then? If you say that they are not under captivity, my question to you is, why are they not being allowed to leave the hotel, ma'am?
To answer the first question, Madam Sasikala does not face any trust deficit. All the people's representatives, general council members and the MLAs, in fact, Mr. O. Panneerselvam was the one who mooted her name to become chief minister, and she will prove her majority. Even she has to face by-elections, even if she does become chief minister. I'm sure she'll follow democratic norms. And in terms of Kushbu talking about confidence in our leader, Madam Sasikala, people don't have confidence in her. I think she needs to set her own house in order. Mr. Rahul Gandhi, with all his education and exposure, makes a mockery of himself time and again. So let's not talk about confidence in leaders. Let's talk about the ground situation in Tamil Nadu. The governor should do his job and do what is legally right for the state. Let the people decide. When Sasikala Madam goes to the hustings, I'm sure the people in the when she goes to the hustings will deliver their verdict.
Please answer my question. Please answer my question, Apsara Reddy. Please answer my question. If Sasikala is such a confident woman, why is she keeping her MLAs in captivity? If Sasikala is such a confident woman, if she has the complete support of her MLA, she doesn't need to send them to a resort.
Rajdeep,
yes,
all the cameras from all the media houses were there in the MLA's meeting yesterday. Everybody signed the paper with free volition. They all spoke to, multiple people spoke to the media. If they choose to go somewhere and have a meeting or to prevent any kind of hostility,
60 kilometers from Tamil Nadu.
Now, if they are being held hostage, they'll come out tomorrow. Why don't you wait? Why don't you wait to find out?
I'm very happy to wait. I'm very happy to wait to allow the people of Tamil Nadu. I don't know how long they can wait. I'm very happy to wait.
Why jump the gun and why score? The people of Tamil Nadu will deliver their verdict whenever the election comes. The people's representatives go back to them. In fact, all the MLAs have to go back to their constituencies as well. So please don't forget, we're doing everything legally in a democratic fashion. The opposition and certain fringe elements are creating havoc.
It is hardly democratic to herd MLAs into a resort. It is not democratic to herd MLAs into a resort. But NRAM, on the other hand, Apsara Reddy, purely in legal constitutional terms, has a point.
Nobody is holding them captive.
You keep saying that and I keep saying they are being held captive. Our reporters say they are being held captive. But NRAM, purely in legal constitutional terms, Apsara Reddy has a point. MLAs have signed a document saying we support AIDMK. We support Sasikala as the next Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu. Doesn't the governor have to go by what he sees in front of him? The paper that those pictures are showing, Sasikala has given a list of 130 MLAs to the governor.
No, he can't take Sasikala's word on it or her assurance on it. It's possible that yesterday, at the time they signed it, it was so, but they have come under pressure. They could change their mind. The question is today, as the governor, I agree that the governor should have come earlier. He shouldn't have dodged the issue. He should have come earlier. That's another matter. But what is before him now is a very dubious claim, where we can see, you proved it to the hilt. What are the MLAs doing? Massage. They are enjoying things there. What kind of meeting is that? But did Jayalalitha, whatever her weaknesses, did she ever resort to this? Even when she was facing trouble, did she ever resort to it? Did Mr. Karunanidhi ever resort to it? This is completely new, and it raises profound doubt about the legitimacy of somebody who claims the support of the majority of the Legislative Assembly.
But Mr. Ram,
they are clearly not free agents. There is no evidence that 130 people are with her today.
But Mr. Ram, there is the flip side that Sasikala's camp is claiming these MLAs have been herded because it's not just Panneerselvam, but she believes, or her camp believes, that even the centre is colluding with the governor to keep the matter waiting till the Supreme Court verdict is there. Therefore, the MLAs become vulnerable to pressures even from the centre. Do you believe that there is any truth in these arguments, or Sasikala is simply creating a mountain out of a molehill?
I think Rajdeep, you would have read P. Chidambaram, distinguished senior lawyer's view that although it's not clearly settled, this matter, maybe there's a little window for this. It's possible that the governor is waiting for it. Now, I don't know. I mean, you swear in somebody, and if it goes, a strict legal interpretation would say that is irrelevant. what happens, what's going to happen. But since it is so close, I think it may well have figured in the governor's calculations. But from that, I wouldn't read any conspiracy theory into it. Because the BJP doesn't exist seriously in Tamil Nadu. It has no chance of making any gain, any progress in the conceivable future. So I don't think we can read a conspiracy theory into this delay.
Okay, I just want to then get you in, Khushbu Sundar, because the Congress is alleging conspiracy theories, that the BJP is colluding with Panneerselvam to ensure that Sasikala is not made Chief Minister. They are even likening it to Arunachal and Uttarakhand. You don't have any evidence, no hard evidence to say that Narendra Modi's government actually wants Panneerselvam and not Sasikala. It may be true, but where is the evidence of that?
Rajdeep, at the onset of this debate, I said I'm not going to speak as a Congress person, but as the very, very worried citizen of my state, because this is where I live and I've been living here for the last 30 years. This is my home. So it's not about what Congress feels, it's what about I feel as a citizen of this state. And I feel what Mr. N. Ram just said, that even the governor is probably waiting for the Supreme Court orders to see as to whether Sasikala is going to be convicted or acquitted. We need to wait for that. And there is a window of doubt there where probably even the governor has been waiting for that to know. Now the theories, the assumptions, they keep coming and going. Why this theory has come with BJP and Mr. Panneerselvam is because we have seen it in very recent past as to how the BJP government did try to dissolve the government in two other states in the north. So it just adds on to that. You cannot just completely deny that, or you cannot completely brush it aside and say there's absolutely no proof to it. It's just assumptions. But then you never know. In politics, you never know. Anything can happen tomorrow. Even a small mole can be mounted. So you just need to wait and watch.
We are ready to wait and watch. We are also told that DMK's role is under scrutiny. The DMK is also likely to meet the governor. MK Stalin also scheduled to meet the governor. I don't know if Manu Sundaram of the DMK is still with us on the phone line. But Manu Sundaram, if you are still with us, you can tell us, what is the DMK going to tell the governor of Tamil Nadu? Do you want immediate swearing in of either Sasikala or Panneerselvam? Who is the choice of the DMK? I think Mr. Manu Sundaram was earlier with us. He's left us at the moment. But Apsara Reddy, let's come back to the central issue. And I want to focus on this as I end this question about public sentiment versus numbers. You have claimed on this program Sasikala has the numbers. And I am persisting by saying that public sentiment seems to be with Panneerselvam, that the public believes that Sasikala Natarajan was not elected in 2016, that she is an interloper. The word used by N. Ram today is a coup d'etat. She has staged a coup d'etat to remove Panneerselvam, and that is not acceptable in a democracy. This is a coup that she has staged. The governor is trying to stop the coup.
Not at all. Not at all. It's not the governor's job, first of all, to stop a coup. I think Mr. Panneerselvam was a sitting chief minister. Nobody can, he's not a pushover who you can shove him around. He voluntarily suggested a name and brought on the situation and mooted her name. Of course, she will face the elections, the by-elections as per law. I think these are too premature days right now. I think the governor will do the right thing by swearing her in. And also, I think the Congress panelists on other channels I've been with, Mr. Manish Tiwari, very respected lawyer, also said that the governor must swear her in. So I feel most of the intelligentsia, the lawyers who know the law, and also the people, the cadres in the rural areas are firmly behind Madam, and the AIDMK party remains united. These are the people who defected. This is not officially the AIDMK. The defectors are somebody who've been ousted by the party before because of not so clean practices, or there have been somebody who've been disgruntled because they have not got any positions after 2016.
No, Apsara Reddy, you are coming out in strong defense of Sasikala, but I continue to ask, why are those MLAs then in the resort? Let her bring them then tomorrow. I mean, I don't know whether the answer is to parade the MLAs. I'm just wondering, N. Ram, is that the terrible,
I said to you, Rajdeep,
the terrible
as
precedent?
I said to you, Rajdeep,
the terrible
Sasikala Madam was willing to bring the MLAs today.
She was willing to bring the MLAs today.
Madam was willing to bring the MLAs today to the governor. Governor permitted. Yes, the governor permitted only 10 people. The governor asked each faction to bring only 10 people each.
Okay, N. Ram, do you believe then the answer is that terrible precedent that has been set in other states, particularly Andhra Pradesh in the 1980s, Haryana in the 1970s, where MLAs are paraded before the governor? Is that what Tamil Nadu is going to have to see now? The ludicrous spectacle of governors being paraded, or sorry, of MLAs being paraded before the governor tomorrow morning?
No, absolutely not. That will be outrageous. And I think the courts have held that the only way to test is on the floor of the assembly. So that's totally impermissible, and I don't think anybody is going to do that. So, I mean, to offer to do it, what use is it? What kind of evidence is it? Then you herd them back, you keep them in chains, do you, after that? So I think it's ridiculous to even go through that exercise. And courts have held that is not, you can't do that.
Okay.
It's not valid.
Okay, so we're going to leave it. At the end of the day, it seems that Tamil Nadu is still in a pool of uncertainty. The governor has not taken a call on who to invite. Should he invite Sasikala Natarajan or only O Panneerselvam, or keep the assembly in suspended animation? For now, we are told the governor's messages, the situation is still fluid. He is still buying time, possibly till Monday, when that disproportionate assets case on the is to be delivered. The verdict is to be delivered in the Supreme Court. Appreciate Apsara Reddy, Kushbu Sundar, N. Ram for joining us and telling us where you stand on this crucial issue. Let me take a break. When we return, actor Gautami is joining me. Lots of actors in Tamil Nadu now are coming out and speaking their mind. Yesterday we had Kamal Haasan, today it will be Gautami who joins us. That's when we return. Our focus remains on this battle for Tamil Nadu, the war for the throne of Chennai. Welcome back. Our continuing focus, the war of thrones in Tamil Nadu. Now that slugfest between O Panneerselvam and Sasikala over the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister's chair has intensified by the day. Interim Chief Minister OPS has now launched an all-out war against Chinnamma, accusing her of betraying former Chief Minister Jayalalitha, and interestingly wants Poise Garden now to become a Jaya Memorial, the house where Jayalalitha used to stay, but which has now been virtually taken over by Sasikala.
From a quiet, easygoing politician, Panneerselvam has turned into a crafty neta, all ready to fight it out. The caretaker CM has struck at the rival camp with some very calculated moves. A day after being unceremoniously sacked as the party's treasurer, OPS got back at Sasikala. First, he wrote a letter to the Bank of India asking it to not let anyone else operate the party's account without his consent and instructions. Panneerselvam's next attack on Sasikala was even more deadly. He said he will pass a government order to convert Poise Garden into a Jaya Memorial. Amma's iconic home for 35 years, the center of AIDMK politics, is now occupied by Sasikala. Panneerselvam then showed in public a letter written by Sasikala after she was removed from the party in 2012. He read out the portion where she apologized and said that she would never enter politics. And that was not the end of Panneerselvam's strategic strikes during the day. He summoned the Chief Secretary and State DGP to seek the transfer of the Chennai Police Commissioner, suspecting that he was acting on Chinnamma's orders.
O Panneerselvam has decided that he is going to move from silent mode to a more aggressive one. In the last few days, we have seen O Panneerselvam not only being vocal, but also showing who's the boss. And this has not gone down very well amongst Team Sasikala. Cameron Shrimuthi, Rohini Swami in Chennai for India Today.
Now only yesterday we had Kamal Haasan, the Tamil star, saying that he supported Panneerselvam. Let's get another star for you today who's also coming out strongly in support of Panneerselvam. We are told Gautami joining me. Appreciate your joining us, ma'am. Do you believe also, like Kamal Haasan, that O. Panneerselvam deserves a chance to remain Chief Minister and that Sasikala should be seen as an outsider, someone who doesn't deserve to be Chief Minister?
I have been very definitively and vociferous in my support of Mr. O. Panneerselvam as Chief Minister or needing to continue to be the Chief Minister of the state of Tamil Nadu.
But Gautami, you know, Sasikala, the fact is, has the numbers. She has the numbers, and at the end of the day, it is about majority MLAs. It's not about individual sentiment or public sentiment. It's about the MLAs who at the moment seem to be supporting her.
No, Mr. Rajdeep, I'm sorry. With all due respect, I beg to differ. This is not and it should not be about a number of MLAs who are supporting any party. It should be about the person who is best qualified to fulfill the requirements of that job and to fulfill the promises made to the people, promises on which the people have elected all these individual MLAs to form a government to serve the people.
Why do you think Sasikala is not qualified? I mean, is it that you're saying she's not qualified because she hasn't fought an election before? Why should she be already seen as someone who's unqualified to be Chief Minister?
She does not have any prior political or public or governance experience at all, Mr. Rajdeep. And sitting in the seat of the Chief Minister of one of India's foremost states like Tamil Nadu, at a time when we have so many issues that need to be dealt with in a critical state, is hardly the time to give somebody the benefit of the doubt.
But the fact that she has no political experience can be countered by her supporters who say she spent 2 decades in close proximity with Jayalalitha, that she's learned politics at Jayalalitha's feet. Can we prejudge Sasikala even before she's given a chance to become Chief Minister?
I'm saying that this job and this position and the responsibilities that come with it are far too immense to take any kind of a chance. There is absolutely no room there to say, let's give her a chance and see what happens. We simply cannot afford to do that because these are people's lives. These are the people of Tamil Nadu and the future of Tamil Nadu. So there's absolutely no way you can take a chance on the presumption that something she's been, perhaps looking over somebody's shoulder, or maybe something might have rubbed off on her, or something she might have acquired through watching and observing, would have equipped anybody, not just her, would have equipped anybody to be in this position and take up this responsibility at this critical juncture of the state's future.
Are you saying in a way, Gautami, and that you are trying to echo what you believe is the demand of the masses and the AIDMK cadre, that the people want OPS as the Chief Minister, you want to reflect that mass public sentiment in a way?
Yes, I do. And it's not a question of belief, this is fact. This is fact. Because it's not just the cadre alone, you need to also consider the people. Actually, you need to primarily think of the people of Tamil Nadu. Because this has to be about their wishes. This is about how we wish to be governed in the state. About the kind of direction that governance in our state must take.
But I want to ask you this, why is there this anger against Sasikala? I saw it from Kamala Hassan yesterday. Is it because she's a novice in politics, you believe she hasn't fought an election, or because of the corruption cases against her, because of the worry that her family will take over Tamil Nadu? What is it that worries you and others about Sasikala so much?
I think the answer is in what you have asked me yourself. One is, of course, all of these issues that surround the personality and, as you said, family and the cases and all of that. That having been put aside, the very fact that there is no qualification and there is no surety of any kind, there's no assurance that this capability to govern our state at this juncture exists, and it's simply too huge a task, and the situation is too sensitive and too delicate to take that kind of a chance at this time.
Okay.
You would not.
I think you've been very categorical, ma'am. I think you've been very categorical in saying that you believe that Sasikala at the moment is not qualified to be the Chief Minister in your view. You believe you're reflecting the views of the masses, and you believe that O. Panneerselvam should be given a chance. Let's leave it there, ma'am. At the end of the day, the ball is in the governor's court. and he says the situation, we are told, is still fluid. Maybe he's waiting till Monday, till that Supreme Court order. Thanks very much, Gautami, for joining me. Let me take a break at this point. When we return, we'll break away from Tamil Nadu to bring you another piece of breaking news that's coming in. The battle for Uttar Pradesh, where we are told that Priyanka Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi have also decided now